Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at this new tangle called upNtuck from CZT Alyssa Herget. Now, this is extra exciting because Alyssa is part of our Tangle Addicts community. And being that it's Thursday, the time of this recording, it is Tangle Time Day. And so I have 2 free sessions that I do every Thursday. And so we premiered this tangle today and had so much fun with it. Um, it's a really wonderful tangle. All right, and you might look at it, at least on the picture, and think, "Oh, this looks complicated," but you know what? It's not so much. All right, we're going to start off with some curved lines, and the first part that I thought would be hard, and maybe it's because I'm getting better at this part, but just start somewhere. And if you want to imagine, an imaginary, okay, here's my center. So then I'm just going to put my pen down and draw a curved line. Now, as I'm drawing this, I'm like, woo, got real close to the edge there. We are going to do something above this. So do be careful of edges just for that. But you know what? If you get too close to the edge, there's ways around that as well. And don't worry. So this one, it doesn't matter how many spokes you have. So I'm just going around and just drawing these curved lines, turning the tile, keeping my hand the same. Well, that one's a little short. Let's make that a little longer. And all right, let's do 6. It doesn't matter how many, as I mentioned. And I highly recommend take a look at the For More Inspiration link, which this time goes to Tangle Addicts, not Tangle Patterns, to tangleaddicts.com, where I announced that we were going to do this tangle, shared her artwork as well as her step out, and an additional page that Alyssa did that was an explanation of how to do it. So lots of really fantastic information there and inspiration. All right. So once you have, we'll call these spokes in whatever, pattern you want them, or however many, whatever lengths. You can vary the lengths as well. This is one of the most forgiving tangles out there. All right. So next step, and this was maybe outside of doing this part, which this doesn't even matter. If it doesn't have to look like a circle. It doesn't have to look like anything. And on top of it, there's course corrections that you could do, and we'll talk about that when we hit that part. So this is a completely work on not worrying about anything type tangle. All right, so this next step, another curve line, and so pick a spoke, and what we're going to do is above it, so we're going to leave some space. And what I found that helped is to go a little bit forward of it. So, and that would, in my world here, this is to the right of it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm leaving a little bit of space and I'm curving it. And here's where I'm going to aim. I'm aiming because I want to leave a little bit of this open. So I'm aiming for about, I don't know whatever that is, a third of the way from the end, but you can see. And then it's rinse and repeat, turn, rinse and repeat. We'll call it that. And just make sure that you have a little gap there, or not gap there, that you have some of that spoke showing, because that will be somewhat important. Although if you end up not doing that, if you have room, you can always extend it. There's always a way. All right. And maybe overshooting is a way to think. So it's like I'm overshooting auraing or putting this curve line. I don't know if it's working in my mind, but I don't know. And this is one of those tangles. She was like, "Gosh, that looks really cool, just the way it is, doesn't it?" All right, next step. And this one, we combine these 2 steps on the step out. You could separate them if you want, and that's what I'll do here. So, looking at these original spokes that we made, so we have, and then we, brought the second step into that original spoke. What we're going to do now is from the tip of that, we're just going to make a little You know, it could be a little curve line. If it's straight, it doesn't matter. I'm making it a little bit curved. And so each one of those, bringing that back, and it's the first line that you come to. So you just stop there. And like I said, if you feel like you need to extend it a little bit, like here, so I could extend it a little bit and then bring it down. It's all good. Okay. Then similarly, I'm going to do the same thing with the now, well, except for the inside, the now remaining open end up here. So same idea, and we're just bringing it in to that line. It does not need to line up with anything. Just bring it in however you want. Now, see, this is where, when you look at some of the samples, I did not do this myself, but if you decided, well, I'm going to make this really high, and then when you do this, the second one, oh, well, then, because of the process, then, you were bringing some of these up, uh, making them a lot longer than the others. We just saw some really, really neat examples of, how you could play with this, and just the fun that you can have. All right. And then that's it. And like I said, they don't have to line up with anything, and hence the name. Oh, actually, let me do hence the name. See, we're going up, and then we're tucking it. And so, like I said, it doesn't matter. That's what makes this a brilliant, brilliant tangle. All right, last step is all of these points in the center. We're going to connect them with a little curved line. Now, for a lot of these, I neglected to mention. Well, actually, no, I take it back. Especially here, is we'll use that take off and land concept, which just means I'm tracing over a little bit of one spoke, and then, as I'm landing on the other, just tracing over a little bit. It just helps with the continuity, helps with the line, the way it looks, versus just going kind of point to point. And there we have it. Is that not the coolest thing? It is really, really cool. Now, here's some shading thoughts. You can decorate this however you want, and that's why for sure you have to go look at for more inspiration. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to do, because I think it's really cool, I'm just going to do some rounding in this one corner, and something to think about as you're considering, well, how do I want to decorate this? It could be, well, if you're not happy with something, the way something turned out, then that's a place to start looking at, well, how can I course correct that and, make it better? And so that's one way to start decorating, and it could be filling in. When I show you my samples, we'll give some other ideas. So I just did some rounding in these corners, and all it is, well, this one could be a little bit thicker. I started real thin and then got thicker. We're just rounding off that corner and filling it in. And what it does is it creates a little bit of of depth. All right. Then if we were looking at shading, thinking about the concept, it's up and tuck. So let's just use those two things. So this part is the tucking, right? So let's put a little graphite where it's tucking under. And that's usually my go-to with shading is, where is something going under something else? That's a great place to start. Because I know a lot of people, that's what I had the challenge too. It's like, I don't know what to do. And this is a great way. And, oh, look at how neat that looks. All right. And then this, you can bring it up, as far as you want. I like to create a nice gradient with that. And then, I mean, because these do kind of look like they're tucked under, that they're like tucked under each other, like it's weaved. So let's accentuate that and do these curves. Actually, what's so funny is like, oh yeah, that's that original curved line that we made. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's hard to see. And can't tell if this was one I used with green or not. Oh, it looks like graphite. And I'm just using little circles because I want to get rid of that pencil line and bring it out a little bit. And then you can always play with how far up do you want to bring it into that space. And then also something to play with is I like to start a little bit lighter because then you could always go darker right at that crease, and that it adds the drama and contrast to it, and wow, and then really makes it look, because I'm going to do that because we have the space, so I'm going to be careful, but I'm going to go a little extra dark. And rather do that because we don't put erasers in our Zentangle kits, and even though there's nobody's watching, but I like to hold to that myself, just a personal thing. And there is great wisdom in that philosophy of that there's no such thing as a mistake, and there's no erasers because there's no erasers in life, so we don't put erasers in our kit, and it makes it fun if you think of it as a game, I suppose, and that's what I do, to figure out, well, what kind of course correction can I do. All right, now I need to get rid of that line, so I'm going to bring that up a little bit. And again, this is just a me thing. I like the gradient versus a hard line like that. I like it when it kind of goes and blends into the natural tile, the natural tile color as much as possible. Oh, look at how neat that is. And that's it. Now, here's a course correction if you wish. So if maybe you didn't like how this turned out, and actually I think I'm just going to thicken it a little bit using my 01. You could just fill this whole center thing in if you want to. It's up to you. You can put a pattern in there if you want to. Oh, that looks neat, just having it, adding that weight to it. And then even, because I did kind of go up here with the takeoff and land, went up there naturally, so it darkens that line. And look at how neat that looks. It just kind of defines it. So cool. Such a fun tangle. Such a fun tangle. So here's these are in various stages of being finished. And today is also St. Patrick's Day, so we were adding in a little extra. This was the daily tangle I did yesterday, called Heart Gramps, and I have to finish it because I used a jelly roll. And when you use some of the jelly rolls, especially the ones that work over black tiles, it ends up covering up some of your ink. So I was in the process of going back and touching up some of them, and it's kind of, well, I still have some work to do on that, but just wanted to share it. So this one, for some ideas on what to do, I actually just auraed the outer edge on each of them, and then did a center line because I thought that looked neat. And then because I had added this, and then you can kind of see that shiny on the outside. That's a gold jelly roll that I auraed the entire tangle. And then here on a gray tile using white, I used a white number 10 jelly roll, and also one of the light gray micron for the patterns on the inside. And again, because it's St. Patty's Day and wanted to add some green, so this is sap green and grass green, General's pastel chalk pencil. All right, so this one I did the aura on both sides of each section, and I added just little straight lines because that's a neat texture. This one, I divided it down the middle and added some printops in there. And this one is just plain. I don't know what I want to do with that one yet. So, and again, it is a neat tangle just to leave plain. So, super cool, super fun, not that hard, and that we love. So, with that, thanks for watching. Do check out the For More Inspiration link if you check out nothing else, check that out. And so you can see Alyssa's work, get some great ideas. My step out is there also below that. If you would like to participate in free online classes, would love to have you. Information is on my website, which is below. And then also, if you're playing along, and if you happen to be on Facebook, then we have a beautiful community that has been created over the last couple of years, and I think I have a direct link to that group. There, I have a couple of questions that are required to be answered to get into the group, just because we want to, kind of have the. It's just a good thing to have. What else? I think that's it. Oh, yes. If you use this tangle, and I will put this in the description section also, use the hashtag. So hashtag upNtuck, and just spell it out. So that way, we can go back and every once in a while, take a look, and then Alyssa can go and see what everybody has done with her tangle. That's like creating a worldwide group, I suppose, of to see what everybody has done with it. So do us a favor and use that if you can, and feel free if you want to do hashtag Tangle Addicts too while you're at it. That would be lovely. All right, with that, thanks so much for watching. Oh, I forgot. If you like the video, would love to have a thumbs up. Because the thumbs up, adding comments in, and subscribing to the channel all helps me out a lot. So that way, then it helps with the algorithms, because then it tells the algorithm, oh, I like this, so other people that like what I like might like it as well, something like that. But I appreciate any of those. Feel free to share it with your friends, and that's it. So thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.